Hey, welcome to Life in the Leadership Lane. I'm your host, Bruce Waller, where I get to interview leaders that are leading in the workplace and in their communities. What did they do to get started? And what are they doing to stay there? And oh my goodness, are you in for a treat today as I'm bringing you another special guest? Now, I'm going to say he's my favorite comedian. Today, I'm getting to interview Mike Goodwin. Mike is a professional comedian. He's also a keynote speaker. He's doing a lot of stuff, and I'm so excited to have you on the show. How you doing, Mike?
Man, I'm doing great, Bruce.
I like to start the show reflecting.
Okay.
And when I met my guests, or some of the guests I've had on the show, I had not actually met them. I might have read their book, but for you, I first I connected by watching some of your videos. I saw your videos on Instagram, but my daughter, I was telling my wife, I was sharing with her some of the things that I'm seeing, and I really enjoyed. And my wife shared that with my daughter, and she purchased a couple of tickets to the church comedy tour in Austin, Texas. And my wife and I, for my wife, it was actually for my birthday, but my daughter's smart because she purchased the tickets so we could go on our anniversary. So we were celebrating our 40th anniversary in Austin,
Oh
Texas.
man,
And we got to see your show. Do you remember that show?
I do remember that show.
That
Yeah, that
was,
was a good show. It was a good night.
yeah. And I think it was Jaron Myers was there as well as I think it was
Jeremiah and
Shama.
Shama. Shama, yeah, they both were on the show.
Let me tell you, we laughed so hard. And my wife and I were talking about it. We got a kick out of the people around us that were laughing. It was, it was so fun. It just for us, we were celebrating, just enjoying the show. But here's what struck me about you, Mike. After the show, I always like to, people that inspire me or I want to meet them. I just want
Right.
to say hi to them and just shake their hand. And a lot of times you don't get a chance to do that. But I walk out of the show and you're out there shaking people's hands. Is that something you do each time, or where's that come from?
When I first started, I did. I think now a lot of these venues or events have like a meet and greet. So there's like a VIP ticket. So
Mm.
it's harder to do it now because if somebody paid for a VIP and then I'm standing in the lobby at the end of the show, they're like, "Hey, man, what are we paying extra for? He's gonna be out here anyway." But yeah, when I first started, I just would be out there
Yeah.
selling my merch, shaking hands and taking pictures.
I love that. I love that. Connecting with the crowd, and that's what it's all
Right.
about. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. I wanna hear your story as we kind of get into some of the things that you're doing that I really think are significant. And this is a business community listening. I think you have a lot to offer some of those. But let's go ahead and get started. Tell the Mike Goodwin story. Like, where did you grow up, and how in the world did you become a comedian and keynote speaker?
So I'm from Camden, South Carolina, small town, USA, Southerner. I'm the oldest of three. Grew up in a very dysfunctional family. So
Mm.
comedy was my way of alleviating stress and tension in the household. And I kind of sharpened my chops because my parents would get in arguments and I would do comedy after everything subsided to, make my brothers and sister feel good, make myself feel good, make my mother feel good. I really wanted to make my mother laugh.
Hmm.
And so I did that. From there, I graduated and went to the Army. So I did 4 years active duty in the
Hmm.
United States Army, got out, went to college, got a degree in political science,
Hmm.
and then met my wife, got married my senior year in college. So I spent, yeah, my senior year as a married guy in college, got out, went to the University of South Carolina. I got a master's in higher ed administration. And I worked at a private school as the college counselor for about 8 years.
Hmm.
But I started doing comedy at my church. There was another comedian that is by the name of Akintunde, was a secular comic, and he gave his life to the Lord, joined our church, and he wanted
Hmm.
to like not be on stage doing blue material. He did a whole 180 as it relates to his act. And we were serving together on the media ministry, and I would just kind of run ideas by him. And he let me do that for about 30 days. And then one day he said, hey man, there's some really good material that you're sharing with me. I'm gonna give you two options. He said, option one, I can take this material and perform it and
Mm.
keep all the money. Or option two, you can do the material and keep all the money. And I was like, I think I like that second option. So I did a New Year's Eve service at my church. It was phenomenal. It was like a
Mm.
movie type scenario. I got a standing ovation.
Mm.
Like the people didn't even know I was going to be performing that night. I did about 7 minutes. And then I sucked for the next 2 years. I was very bad. I was very bad. But I figured it out. I stayed in the game. And I've been doing comedy full time for the last 12 years.
I love all of that. Man, it's good to have great people around you, isn't it? People
It
that are
is.
encouraging you. I mean, he encouraged you to, hey, step out there, take a leap of faith. And then people that gave you that standing ovation, like that, they just were like blowing greatness into you. Like
Yeah.
I love that. First of all, thank you for your service,
Oh,
serving
yes,
the
sir.
U.S. Army. Thank you. Appreciate. And the Gamecocks. I'm a big Oklahoma Sooner fan,
Oh
and
man,
so
we did y'all pretty dirty last year, man.
you got
I
our.
I spoke to the team about 2 years ago.
Is
I
that
spoke to the
right?
football team. Yeah, matter of fact, it might have been 3 years because I spoke to the team. Coach Venerables, he had a guy that was his chaplain. His chaplain was a guy that played football for him at Kansas State. So the
Okay.
chaplain saw me somewhere. He called coach, said, "Hey man, this guy, I think he would be great to speak to the team." He brought me in, spoke to the team. Then the offensive coordinator took the job at Mississippi State.
Yeah,
He called me the next year, and I came and spoke to the guys at Mississippi State. So yeah,
that is
so
fantastic.
I'm a Sooners. Boomer Sooner is kind of I pay attention when the Sooners are playing.
I love that, and I love your coach Shane Beamer.
Oh man,
He's
he was
fan.
a guy that spent a lot of time with y'all also.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I had Coach Stoops before Venables. I had Coach Stoops on the show,
Oh
and
wow.
just admire those guys. And that's good stuff. You didn't talk to the Sooners before that South Carolina game,
No, I
did you?
did not. I did not, man. No one saw that coming. We didn't even see
That
that
was
coming.
fantastic. That was fantastic. I was there. That's cool. Hey, I like to. I wrote a book in 2017 called "Find Your Lane."
Oh
And,
yeah.
and I think there's a lot of different ways to have success, but you got to find what works for you. And you talked about how you had that good night, and then you had some struggles. Was there a moment? Because there's got to be some days where you're like, man, I just don't know if this is going to work. Was there a moment where you said it's going to work?
I knew the first time. Like, and I think this is how I explain it. I used to think I was an extrovert
Mm-hmm.
because I was the life of the party. I'm a guy. I'm very social, very gregarious. I
Mm-hmm.
like people. But what I realized, I had all this comedy energy that didn't have anywhere to go. Like, so when I wasn't performing, I just had this overflow of comedic activity happening. Like the way I think, the way I see things. I know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm purposed to be here to make people laugh. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know without any kind of issues or any type of confusion, like I'm here to bring joy and laughter to the earth,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I went up that first night, I felt like, oh, this is what I've been missing. Like, because I felt like I felt like an X-Man, like I was a mutant, like I had this power and this ability, but I didn't know what to do with it. And it
Yeah.
was strong. So it was like when I would be in like social settings, I felt like a little kid. You ever go to a little kid's house and you're sitting there and they bring out a toy and you play with it and like, oh, you like that toy? I got another toy. And then by the end of the day, they got their whole toy box in the living room. That's how I was with jokes. Like if I made someone laugh, I was like, oh, you like that?
Mm-hmm.
What about this? What
Mm-hmm.
about that? And in certain settings is inappropriate to just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes folks will have me. I've spoken at middle schools before. I had administration bring me back because I worked at a private school that was K 4 through 12,
Mm-hmm.
and the middle school folks brought me back, and they wanted me to talk to students about roasting and being inappropriate with their humor,
Mm-hmm.
and I opened the conversation saying basically, Your teachers have been lying to you. That's that kind of first thing I said. I said, your teachers have been lying. And I was like, let me explain. So there was something will happen in the classroom,
Mm.
and your teacher, everybody will laugh. If something will be said, everyone laugh, and then your teacher will say, that's not funny. Then your teacher will walk out of the classroom and go talk to a colleague and be like, you won't believe the funny thing that just happened. And so I tell them, like, it wasn't that it wasn't funny, it wasn't appropriate. So
Mm.
whatever was said was not appropriate for the classroom. So I didn't understand
Mm.
my ability. I didn't know how strong I was with comedy. I would say things that would hurt people's feelings. I mean,
Mm.
I can remember conversations of folks that I've known and be like, do you remember what you said to me? And it's like 10 years have gone by. And I feel bad because I
Mm.
was just quote unquote trying to be funny,
Mhm.
but there was a line that I wasn't aware of the line.
Mm.
So when I went up that first time and I did that 7 minutes, I knew, like, there was no doubt. I didn't know where it would go or how
Mhm.
far it would take me, but I knew without a shadow of a doubt that, hey, I'm supposed to be doing this.
That is so good. I was thinking about hurting people's feelings. I'm a guy like I hate to disappoint people.
Right.
I just hate that. And I think about comedians. I think sometimes you say things like for some people they're like, "Hey, kind of offended by that," but
Right.
you've
Right.
seemed to find the balance there.
Yeah, I overstep. I mean, I think first off, this is my first approach. I write all my material
Mm.
for 100% of the room to laugh. Like, I don't write jokes
Mm.
from a place of malice. I don't write jokes from a place of anger. That's like me angry at a group. I might be angry at myself or situation, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing to unify the room, not to divide it, right? And so
Mm.
that's my initial point. I don't care who you are. I don't care what
Mm.
side of the political spectrum you sit on. I don't
Yeah.
care, young, old. I want you to laugh, man. If you
Mm.
come to my show, I want you to say, man, that guy was great and we had a wonderful time. So that's where I start. And then as you go, you're gonna say some things that people are gonna be offended by, and that's not my intent. And I do, people will give you feedback. One thing I found to be interesting, people are will give you feedback and they'll tell you a joke is inappropriate, but it's the joke that has the whole room laughing. Like, tell me the jokes that don't work. I'll stop doing those jokes. Like, it's the jokes that's like, oh, that was very inappropriate. But the room was roaring. Like, come on,
Mm.
man. And then the other thing that kind of is a little bit interesting to me is that people now get offended on behalf of someone else. Like, if I offended you,
Mm.
hey, let's have a conversation, let's discuss it. But I can't defend being you being offended on behalf of someone that you believe is offended. And those people aren't offended. And so it's like, wow. Right. And I think that I understand because people will even say, is it harder to do comedy now? Political correctness. I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think the lines are very defined. And if you chose to go over those lines, you should be aware that there's some blowback, there's some
Yeah.
consequence.
Yeah. That's so good. That's so good. Write your own material. I was actually thinking about something. I do a lot of keynote speaking myself and I think about getting on the stage for an hour, hour and a half, and you just said 7 minutes. And I think the show that we went to could might have been 30 minutes, but
Right.
all like I would think I'm just curious about your writing process because do you like is that something like you do every day and you're trying these things out and then you're taking it back and just what's that like?
Similar to football, I'm looking at film, right? I'm
Mm.
constantly evaluating what works, what doesn't work. I record
Mm.
every show, so I have the audio of
Okay.
every show on my phone. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, I'm not as diligent as I should to go back. Because matter of fact, I'm doing a show tomorrow in Greenville, South Carolina, which I did a year ago, the same venue. So I'm listening to the audio, and I'm like, oh man, I just said something in passing. I was like, man, that's a great idea. I should have
Mm.
worked that out a little bit more. But I
Mm.
hadn't listened back, to the show until now. I do that. I do try to get 5 ideas a day. They may not be jokes, but
Oh.
something that maybe make me laugh, or at least are the seedlings of a joke. Like I
Yeah.
don't write the full joke, but I at least something things kind of jump out to me. That's where my comedy first comes from. I see something that is a little bit odd. So I'm like, oh, that's different, or a saying or something will happen and I'll just take a note of it. So I try to get at least
Mm,
5 of those inside of a journal. I try to get that down
I like
uh,
that.
every day. And then I also go over my set, right? So I think about I think about my set similar to a chess game. You got your opening, you got the
Hmm.
middle game, and you have the close, right? And to be a great chess player,
Mm,
you got to have your opening and your close. They got to be pretty solid. And I think that is transferable to a lot of things. If you're a keynote speaker, your opening and your close,
mm,
if those are solid, airtight, man, you can really figure the middle part out. Like the middle part, you can have some flexibility there. But when you come out of the gate very strong and you close
mm,
very strong, that at least gets you probably a further than halfway of the way to where you need to be. Yeah, but I'm constantly I watch other comics. I'm not one of these
mm.
comics that doesn't watch comics because people are like, oh, I don't want to be influenced by what somebody else has said. I can watch something and not be in, I can listen to a song and not want to do that genre of music. So
Mm.
I watch and see. I try to turn off my comedic analytic mind sometimes and just enjoy.
Oh,
But I'm also constantly like if I'm watching speakers, I'm watching a little bit more than just to enjoy. Like I went to the National Speakers Association this past week, the conference that they had in
yeah.
Phoenix. And I was there as a student, but I was also more like I think the approach I take now is I'm more of an intern. So I'm going in trying to figure out how they do and how they doing what they're doing. And I'm being a little bit more deliberate about my focus and I'm paying attention to more than what's
Mm,
happening on the stage. I'm looking at what do the volunteers have on and where are they
mm,
posted and how many commercials are they playing in between the speaks. So I'm constantly looking for inspiration
mm,
to bring to my content. And I think the other thing in terms of material, I'm just trying to expose myself to a lot of different experiences because
mm,
what I've found, especially as a comedian, when I'm just in a routine, things aren't very funny. But if I'm
mm.
trying new stuff, if I'm going different ways, if I'm doing something I wouldn't typically have done, that's where a lot of material shows up.
I love that. And as you were sharing that, I was thinking about how people don't see, they only see the tip of the iceberg. I saw
Right.
you on stage. I see you on Instagram. Like, hey, that's great. We don't see the prep you're putting in. I got a chance to listen to Dan Thurman. He's part of the NSA as well.
Yeah.
And I asked him, he's a juggler. And I said, hey, how much do you practice? He said, I practice 1,000 catches a day,
Yeah.
1,000 catches a day. And he's a pro.
Yeah.
And you're a pro too, but you used a word that I just wrote down. It said intern. You're being an intern. You're really, really looking at things. And I want to say that because I know there's some people listening right now. They're taking notes. There's people in the workplace and what I'm trying to message I want them to have is, man, it's all about preparation. Like for who you want to become, there's a
Yeah.
lot of work that goes into that, isn't there?
Yeah, 100%. And the preparation never ends.
Mm.
You got this idea like when I get to this point, I can relax. No, man, you gotta take it. What got you here is not gonna get you there, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you gotta prepare at a new level. One of the things that I just recently did
Uh,
about AI and Chat GPT, right? I'm
mm.
not using that to get answers. I'm using that to get insight. So what I did recently I want to study fun in the workplace. I want to look at organizations that are
Yep.
known for great morale. So
Okay.
I asked ChatGPT, what are the top 10 organizations that are known for their fun?
Hmm.
Fun is a value. Then they gave me that. And then I said, well, okay, what are some of the best books, podcasts, articles that I can find on morale and a good work environment? And it gave me that. So I
Hmm.
can go do the research myself because I'm gonna come up with my own unique perspective. I'm not
Yeah.
so I'm gonna use AI as a partner, as an
Mm.
opportunity to give me kind of a more targeted search, but I'm just not gonna like be lazy and say, hey man, give me a speech about fun in the workplace, right? It's like, no, just show me where to go to get the things, and I'll go there and I'll spend the time. You can't shortcut preparation, right? You just
Yeah.
it shows either I said this, I say this a lot. Time either promotes you or exposes you. Like it's
Mm.
one of the two.
I like that a lot. You know, I was telling my wife when I met you, everything's just so fast. Hey, how you doing? You know, great show, and that, and then you're on your way. And I
Right.
always leave when I meet people that I really admire. I have 1,000 questions, and so I'm telling her, I was like, man, I missed an opportunity. I want to know the question. Does he do his own social media? Because I do all my stuff. I have people that will reach out and say, "Hey, Bruce, hey, can you connect me with the person that's doing all your social media?" I said, "You're
Like
connected to him." Do you do your own social media?
so
Talk a little bit about that.
I'm the person you're talking to, but I don't post.
Yeah,
I don't post the
you got
stuff.
somebody to
Like
help you with that.
right. I
Okay,
have
good.
there's a team of folks that
Yeah,
they edit the videos, they
yeah.
post the videos.
But you
They
engage.
I'm the person that's in the
I
comments. I'm the
love that.
person that if you sending me a DM, you're talking to me. But yeah, I'm not and then I do post like in my story. If
Yeah.
it's the stories, that's all me.
Yeah,
It's
that's
all
awesome. I
me.
love that. Hey, I was reading something. It might have been on your website, but it talked about the power of comedy, how it can really change hearts and heal lives. That word "heal,"
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And somebody, wrote a kind of I think it was a recommendation. Talk about that just for a second, because I think the workplace needs this.
So this is one thing I find to be interesting about the workplace. When you say comedy, it's kind of people kind of cringe. When you say
Mm-hmm.
humor, it's more
Mm.
easily accepted, right? So this is what I say. Comedy is neutral. Comedy's like money. It just depends on what you do with it. Like you can take comedy, you
Mm-hmm.
can be insulting, you can be belittling, you can be offensive, or you can take comedy and be encouraging, motivating, and inspiring, right? It's all
Mm-hmm.
about how you use comedy. But the challenge is most of us haven't practiced a professional sense of humor. Like our
Mm-hmm.
sense of humor is really ingrained to our friendships, people that have known us for a long time. So I say a lot of times people take their inside sense of humor to outside relationships. So our
Mm.
relationships at work, a lot of times those are outside. Like we work together
Yep.
and we might have worked together for a number of years, but we're not good friends. We didn't grow up together. You don't know all the details of
Mm.
this person's life. So you bring your inside sense of humor and you say something trying to be funny, but the relationship isn't there. And I think what
Mm.
in the workplace, what would be beneficial for leaders and individuals in the workplace, develop the relationship
Mm.
before you start trying to crack jokes or be funny.
Mm.
Do things that make folks feel a little they feel like, oh, that's inappropriate. So I think that taking a step back and saying, man, let me develop a relationship with the people that I
Mm.
work with, a authentic relationship before I start trying to be quote unquote buddy buddy and doing and saying things that may ultimately hurt folks. But the other thing I think that when you talk about humor or comedy,
Mhm.
I see it as an ability to bypass the head and get straight to the heart. So a
Mm.
lot of times people at the end of my show feel like they've known me for a long time because I'm up there, I'm talking about my family, I'm talking
Yep.
about myself, I'm telling these stories. They resonate because a lot of my comedy is kind of nostalgic. So I'm talking about my grandmother, I'm talking about nursery rhymes. I'm talking about something that causes you to go back in time to remember, oh yeah, when I
Mm.
was in middle school, my teacher did this or they said that. So I bypass your head and I'm right at your heart level. And
Mm.
people will come up and they'll be like, man, you grew up in the same house I grew up in. Or, your mom's, you know, like those are the conversations that I have.
Uh,
And I also, which was a little bit surprising to me, people will come up and say, man, I haven't laughed like this in years, or my
yeah.
mom just was, just admitted to the hospital and I
Mm,
needed this laugh, or,
mm,
this is the anniversary of my best friend's passing. This was a great night for me to come out and just laugh. And so I think that the way that I administer comedy and humor, I want to leave places better. I don't
mm,
want to make people bitter. I don't want to antagonize people.
mm.
That's just not my brand of comedy. Like
Yeah.
there's different brands, like restaurants. Like if you want a steak, you need to go to a steak
Yeah.
house, right? So the type of comedy that I do works in the workplace.
Yeah.
It fits. It's not out of place. It's not clunky. It's not outdated. It fits to the mission and of organizations and what they're trying. I want to build people up, man. I want people to feel good about their life, their purpose. I want people to be better husbands, better fathers,
Mm,
better wives, and all the things, right? So that's just my approach to it. But somebody else will have a different approach. So my
yeah.
approach, it lines up so I can go into a club and I can go into a church and I can go into a corporation and bring value to all of those places.
I love that because that's one of the things my wife had mentioned. She's like, something what really makes what makes that work is he talks about himself, talks about his family, and people, yes, they get to know you. It made me think about John Maxwell when he talks about, the key is walking slowly through the crowd.
Yeah.
You got to get to know your people.
And I want people, like I do feel I feel a little weird because I'm more people are knowing me, which I want it to happen. So now I can't go and retreat because now that
Yeah,
more people
right.
know me,
Yeah.
like when we met in the lobby, I truly, I'm not out there for like as an obligation. I want to
Yeah.
meet people. And like
Yeah.
when you say, hey man, I want to get you on the pod, I was like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. Like,
That's
so it's so part of it. I need to not meet some people because people want to take advantage and get you to
right.
do something you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
Because I'm all about, yeah, man, you're gonna burn me one time.
Yeah.
Everybody got one time to burn. You're not going.
Yeah.
Shame on me if you get me again, right? But
Yeah.
my approach is what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I'm pretty consistent off stage as I am on stage. Like you don't
Hmm.
get this big gap between the guy that you saw and then the guy that you meet. I say this too. When I was coming up learning comedy and learning the business, everyone would talk to me about killing on stage. Like you gotta kill on stage. You like gotta get standing ovations. You gotta like have killer jokes. But
Hmm.
nobody would ever talk to me about killing off stage. Like I gotta kill
Hmm.
with my family. I gotta be a great
Hmm.
dad,
Hmm.
be a great husband. I need to be a good friend. I need to
Hmm.
be a person of integrity. So my approach is, yeah, I'm gonna kill on stage. I want to be funny. I want to be one of the best to do it. Like I really take the time and the attention to put together a great presentation. Like when I get on that stage, I don't want to waste people's time.
Yeah.
I want to present something that is excellent. But also off stage, I'm trying to be as good of a person as I am trying to be as good as a comedian, right?
I love that. I love that. The one video, and I'm curious, and we're getting ready to go to it's time to accelerate. But the one video that really caught my attention, and I bet it's the video that caught a lot of people's attention, is only two things you need to worry about.
Right.
Is that, do you get that as being your, like, when people talk to you, that's the thing they come up to
That
you?
people will come up to me like, hey man, got two things to and it's wild. I didn't write that joke. That's like a stock joke, right?
Okay. Yep.
But I guess the way I performed it,
Oh,
people love it. And it was one of the early jokes that I did. So I was trying to
okay.
get material where I didn't have to do that joke.
Okay.
So my social media people, they posted it because I told them some time ago, like, hey man, I don't want that's not original material. I don't want
Yeah.
that posted. And I guess, they hire new people come on, and somebody's like, oh man, this is a great bit. And they put it on, and it was wildfire. Like normally they posted a time or two, and
Yeah.
I'll get it before anybody see. And I'm like, hey guys, I just don't want this, this not original material. So I don't
Yeah.
want the issue of people like, oh, he's taking material. Like, it's a stock joke. Like it's like a
Yeah.
knock knock
I
joke.
love it. I
But
love it.
it, man, that thing hit and it's
Oh,
everywhere.
I showed it to a lot of people. That's good stuff. Hey, who were real quick, I did have a question. I didn't haven't asked that. Who were some of your favorites comedians growing up?
Man, I think I'm a huge Cosby fan. I'm a big
Yeah,
Bill
me
Cosby
too.
fan. I love like his observational
Yeah,
storytelling
yeah.
comedy. I'm a big Dave Chappelle guy. I
Mm.
like Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock,
Mm.
Seinfeld. A few of the guys that I really enjoy. What's interesting, I work clean, but there's a lot of dirty guys that I
Hmm.
like have been influential.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I,
that's
I
their
just
brand,
love
right?
comedy. Yeah, I just love to laugh.
Yeah,
And I don't necessarily have to
that's
do it
good.
the way that they do
That's
it.
good stuff. You mentioned Seinfeld. I read something about him. You know, you were talking about five a day. He was
Right.
talking about building a chain, and he tried
He
to
he
write a
marks the
joke a
day
day,
off,
and he
right?
yeah marked the
Yeah.
day off. And if he broke the, he didn't want to break the chain. I thought that's pretty cool. Hey, this has been fun. Listen, I could do this all day long. Hey, I want to go to this time to accelerate. I want to ask you just a few kind of some fun facts.
Okay.
Any favorite venues that you've spoke at?
That's a great question. Favorite venues. I like comedy clubs. I do like
Mm,
comedy clubs because comedy clubs are situated for comedy. Like I do comedy at churches, I do comedy at corporate events,
yeah.
but they're usually in these big ballrooms
Sure.
and ceilings high. I
Mm-hmm.
am not a fan of outdoors because
Yep.
it doesn't capture laughs. So
Mm-hmm.
my favorite venues are places where it's like very intimate, very enclosed.
Hey, what do you I saw you that night and you were there from, I don't know, probably 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, something like
Right.
that.
Right.
What do you do during when you're there during your off day? Do you go out and like explore Austin or do you work
Yeah, so
or
oh no, that's an interesting question because a lot of times, especially I guess now, I have a little bit more flexibility and maybe come in the day before,
yeah.
stay the day after. Before, it was just kind of in and out. Like I
Mm.
saw the airport, I saw the rental place thing, I saw the hotel, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw the venue, right? So I didn't get to explore as much. I think I'm having a little bit more ability to go to places and explore. I love the gym, man.
Mm.
I go to
Okay.
the gym, man. I go
Love
and
that.
try to get some type of. I just want to be stronger for when I'm 70 and 80 years
I
old, right?
love
Like
that.
it
Like
used to be
Joshua.
like,
He's gonna
yeah,
be
it
80
used
and feeling like
to.
he's man half his age.
I want to wrestle a guy,
Ah, I
like.
love that, man. This has
So I
been so
like
good.
challenging myself physically. I like challenging
Yeah.
myself physically. I love books.
Mm.
I've really kind of recommitted to
Mm.
reading more, like just
Okay. Any favorites?
I like so I've been starting to read a lot more fiction
Okay.
because I want to be an excellent storyteller. So I'm like, if I want to tell stories that are great and high level, I
Mm.
need to read stories that are being told very well.
I love that. That's
So I
fantastic.
love fiction.
Yeah. Wisdom Hunter.
I'm always, I love like so one of my favorite books is like the Jack Reacher, like that
Oh
kind of
yeah. Okay.
this this and I think the thing I love about Reacher is like he's not me. Like he's just I can't live off like a toothbrush and changing clothes at a convenience store, like buy a t-shirt. Like, but that's amazing to me. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to have a life where you don't have an address. That's kind of fascinating, right?
Yeah.
And so I enjoy reading those type of stories because that's just not my life. That's nothing I would rather. I probably would enjoy it for like a month, and then I'm like, man, I need to go home. What am I doing out
Well,
here?
what you're basically saying is once you found your lane, you just immerse yourself into it and you really drive with purpose. And that's what I want people to hear today is that like you find like what moves you.
Right,
Find what moves you and immerse yourself into that. And you can integrate that. It's not like work-life balance, it's just
right,
life,
right. And I
you know?
love the fact the analogy you use of finding your lane because I've found my lane, right? I, I say this often if I talk to speakers. I'm a comedian that speaks because sometimes people want to put you in their box, and they were
Mhm.
like, "Hey, man, are
Yeah.
you, like I show up at these speaking conventions and they're like, "Oh, you're trying to do less comedy and more speaking?" I'm like, "No, I just want to be a better speaker when I speak. But I'm a
Yeah,
comedian,
I like that.
and so I'm
I
a
like
comedian. I'm a
that.
hybrid, right? Like
I love that. I
and
love
I'm
that.
comfortable in that lane. I'm comfortable doing what I do, doing a corporate one day, doing a
Mhm.
comedy show the next. Like that's just what I do.
Hey, and when you find your lane, you accelerate, and then all of a sudden you might find yourself needing to change lanes, and then you get in another lane. Okay, I gotta figure this out too,
Right,
right?
right.
And
And you're constantly
I love that.
adapting, right? You're
Yeah,
constantly
so
making
good.
adjustments.
This has been so fun, man. Mike, I didn't even ask you about the bow tie. You wear a bow tie. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, very quick story. I mean, I my first time when I went on that first time, I had on an ascot, right? So I could have been
oh,
easily ascot comedy, but I sweat way too much. So, but the reason the bow tie, I started doing stand up when I was 28, and
okay.
I just looked out at the field. Like comedy is a saturated environment. I mean, you
Yeah.
could just wake up tomorrow morning and say you're a comedian. There's no licensing, there's no
Okay.
credentials. So I thought, hey man, how can I stand out? Like
Ooh.
early on, like my first kind of early thoughts was like, how do I stand out from everybody else?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll wear the clothes that I typically wear because I mean, I'm a guy that loves a little fashion style, dressing
Hmm.
sharp, and that definitely has caused me to be the standout in a
Yeah.
crowd.
I love that. You've created a great brand. Hey, I have one last question. It's probably my favorite question I like to ask all my guests. I've had 233 guests on the show. You're number
Oh wow,
234.
wow.
And the question is, Mike, he's 10 years older and he's knocking at your door, and you are going to answer that door in the next 5 minutes.
Okay,
What's he going to say to you?
I think he's gonna say good job.
I
I think
like
he's
that.
gonna say, man, you put us in a good position.
This has been so good. I love it. Again, I wasn't kidding you. You're my favorite. This has been an absolute honor to have you on the show today. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your perspective, your wisdom. And I know a lot of people listening are going to get a lot out of it. I'm going to put some information in the show notes, but for those who want to connect with you, maybe they're interested. There's a lot of HR leaders,
Yeah, yeah,
corporate leaders that are listening to the show, and they may say, "Hey, I want to check out Mike. Maybe getting him to come to our event, or
yeah.
maybe a conference keynote." For those who want to connect with you, how's the best way for them to connect?
Just go to the MikeGoodwin.com. So my website is the
Yeah.
easiest place. I have a corporate speaker page. There's
Oh.
some video there. There's more information about what I do. I do a leadership and laughter keynote.
Ooh.
Or I'm on LinkedIn also, so I'm on the
Okay.
professional
LinkedIn.
social media. That's the
I
social
like
media
how
for
you put that.
grown-ups.
I'm on LinkedIn too, the professional site. That's
That's the
funny.
site for adults. That's not adult.
This has been so. Oh man, when I went to Austin, I was talking to a lady next to me, and she said laughter is good for the soul.
It
And I was
is.
like, man, you are so right. This has been so good. I am grateful to you. I'm grateful for our friendship. I can't wait to watch you ahead. I noticed you also, real quick, you do some content delivery as a coach.
Yeah, yeah.
So if somebody's interested in that, they might check that out too, right?
Right. So I try to, one of the things I want to help folks do is enjoy their presentations. Like a lot of folks
Mm.
are presenting and they have great content and they
Hmm.
have great knowledge, but they're not enjoying the presentation.
Mm.
It's not engaging, it's not
Hmm.
entertaining. So I help folks kind of add a little more sauce, a little more humor, a little more storytelling,
Yeah.
more engagement, so that you will enjoy the presentation. I mean, it's like it's an hour of your life, man. You don't want to like not enjoy, and especially
Yeah.
if you do it a lot, like
Yeah.
ooh, that could, but
Yeah.
some people have found themselves presenting by virtue of their job. Like they
Yeah.
didn't necessarily set out to be
Right.
presenters, but
Right.
because of the work and the nature of the work, they present a lot. And so I want to give you a few tools to make you to help you communicate at a higher level.
That's so cool. Hey, Mike, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do, and I can't wait what your road ahead. Thanks for coming on the show, my friend.
Oh, thanks for having me. This has been a blast.
Awesome. Okay, I'll talk to you later.